As the clock continues ticking towards the summer transfer window, goalposts, as you would expect, are shifting from Manchester United from one player to another and expect more. Now, the latest is an exciting young boy from Africa, only 23 years of age. He's one that has been linked to several clubs, Man United now being the latest. Mohammed Kudus could take the place of Micheal Olise. Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb. Like, subscribe, and share as we get into this transfer talk, as we do as well, wait for whether or not Erik ten Hag will be staying. Now, if he did stay, there is a chance, according to reports we gather from decent sources, that Erik ten Hag could be reunited with his former Ajax boss, a boy rather, who he should have chosen, honestly, over Anthony Dos Santos, Mohammed Kudus, but he went for Anthony. But guess what? Kudus could as well join him, maybe hoping that it could be a success. Now, there are reports that are emerging now that Mohammed Kudus now has become a front runner to be coming in at Manchester United. Not him alone, together with Matheus Cunha, the Brazilian forward, who plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers. He does score goals. Remember, Man United is looking for a striker. This is a guy who has scored 12 goals in 32 games or thereabout, and assisted about 7 times for Wolves. I mean, that's decent for a player to come in as a backup striker, but his fee could be the issue. But let me stick more on Mohammed Kudus because he's the more exciting prospect that I'm sure many a United supporter will listen to and say, okay, this makes sense. But for me, I want to put a question to you, and you can drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. If we were to sign one of the two, Micheal Olise and Mohammed Kudus, who would you choose? Because I don't think, because the fact that we are being linked to Kudus now means probably Man United could prefer him over Micheal Olise, or he could be one of the three. Remember, I told you in the new rule book of Ineos, the way they are going to operate going forward is the manager will say, I want a player in this department, I want a forward, and they will list for him 3 options, and he will choose one of them. Now, probably in the options they could have Micheal Olise, Mohammed Kudus, and a few, and now Cunha is also coming in and being added to the list. Now, question is, who of those would you choose, especially between Olise and Mohammed Kudus? Because those, I think, are the two you would try to compare. They're a bit close to each other. Who would you choose of the two? For me, here's what I think. For all, and guys, for some unsound reason, first of all, there's big competition for both. But Micheal Olise probably will have more competition. Kudus has only been tried in the Premier League, I mean, for just a season. When he came in to West Ham United for about £38 million, and has scored 8 goals and assisted 6 times in the first season, scoring 5 goals in 9 Europa League games. He has been an important player for them, clearly, shown his skill and versatility, can play as an attacking midfielder and as a forward. For me, that's the edge I love about him. Now, whereas Micheal Olise might have better stats, probably has been longer in the Premier League, I honestly think for some unsound reason, I do not think Micheal Olise is the player for Man United. He's not it for me. He's a brilliant footballer without a doubt. But my reservations about him are more of away from the pitch, because I'm thinking, looking at his journey and where he has been and how he has been about big clubs around England. My thinking is, why on earth were they letting him go? There could be something about him that we don't know. There could be something unsound, something that we might come to realize later on, but that he doesn't seem to be, because he's still a gamble. I mean, with United anyway, any signing we bring in is a gamble. I don't think really, for me, he's a worthy gamble to pay £60 million for at this point in time. If you look at the two, I think Olise is priced at about £60 million. I'm sure Micheal Olise will not be as much as that. I think, rather not Olise, Kudus, because Micheal Olise is £60 million. I'm sure Kudus could be valued at about, if they bought him for £38 million that season, I think between 45 to 50 million pounds is what you can pay for him if you want to sign him. Honestly, if I were to choose for Man United between the two, if the list that has the two of those and another, I think I would pick Kudus. One, Kudus gives you a bigger dimension because he can come. Can play as a proper attacking midfielder. Olise too can play there, but Olise is more in the final third. That's why you probably expect him to give you a lot of contribution. I don't see him as a guy who gives you a lot of value without the ball. Kudus, with his firmness, can carry the ball from deep. Kudus is more. He's a more animated in different areas. So for me, honestly, if it's to choose between the two, I would choose Kudus. He's cheaper. He's probably hungrier. I think I trust his mentality more than I would trust Micheal Olise. In all fairness, in terms of talent, I think they are close. It's difficult to say Kudus is more talented than Olise. They are close. I think are probably the same boat. But also the competition that is there for Olise is a bit stiff because Olise is wanted by Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal. Kudus as well is wanted by so many clubs, but I think they are not as focused on him as they clearly are on Micheal Olise. So for rather on Mohammed, yeah, on Micheal Olise. So I think for me, I would choose Kudus over Olise any day for Manchester United. I think bring him in and make him part of the rotation, switching with Garnacho, and he's flying in from wherever you put him. You can put him through the central axis as a 10. You can drop him deep, play him as an attacking 8. You can play him as a winger. You can play him as a false 9. He's firm on the ground. He scores all forms of beauties. I think for me, I like Mohammed Kudus. I like what he has brought, the excitement he brings. When you watch West Ham, a struggling team like that, but you saw that he made them a whole different team, differently competitive. So if it were up to me between the two, I would go for Mohammed Kudus. Let me know what you think personally in the comment section. But of course, again, this will all depend on, again, who the manager will be and what the direction will be. Of course, there are people who will say, are we going to get all former Eric Ten Hag players and bring them at Man United? I think that would be unfair to the players, especially to just look at players comparing, and judging them based on whether or not they played with Eric Ten Hag before. I think it's not about that. It's about their ability. I think we are talking about Kudus for his ability as a player, what he has shown, his potential, what he's capable of doing. I think based on that, I strongly believe that Mohammed Kudus can make sense for Manchester United. I strongly believe based on what he has proven at West Ham United, he can make sense for Manchester United. And if anything, if you look at Kudus and Micheal Olise, who of the two would easily choose a club that is not going to play in the Champions League, but is in the Europa? Will it be Olise? How easy will it be for Micheal Olise to choose Man United over, let's say, Arsenal or Liverpool if they want him? I think it's easier for Kudus to choose Man United now and want to be a part of that rebuild than it could be for Micheal Olise, who is, born and bred in the UK. Of course, was in France for a while as well, but he has been in the UK for a long time. The Champions League for him, he will feel this is the time to be in the Champions League. I feel for me that gives us an advantage to get who I consider the right player for us of the two. Let me know what you think. Subscribe.